Hi, I'm Shane from Quick Attach. Today I'd like to go over the many improvements we've made to the Quick Power Scape soil conditioner. This unit is offered in 3 different widths, 72, 84, and 96 inches. We also offer it in 2 different mounting systems, a rigid style and a multi-flex with float and depth control as shown here. This unit is shown with the manual pin style angling system, which is popular among rental yards, but we also offer it with the optional hydraulic angling. The 72-inch unit shown here weighs in at a hefty 1,280 pounds. We utilize an oversized hydraulic motor which allows this unit to work on both standard flow and high flow skid steer loaders, including skid steer loaders with pressures above 4,000 psi. So I wanted to start off by showing you some of the features of the frame. The frame is the most significant portion of the structure because this is where all the digging forces are applied. We had to make this out of something substantial. We are using 1/4 inch, 5-inch by 5-inch square tubing, and it runs the full width of the frame here. The reason we use tubing instead of something like formed channel is because you have to make this frame strong enough so it doesn't twist and torsion. You might have loading on one end or the other, and so tubing is by far the most efficient way to do that. We also add additional strength by welding 5/16 flanges on the front and the back of the tube to help with maintaining and reducing the amount of dirt that flies up from the rotor. In addition to strengthening the frame, this flange has a bent lip in it which helps to meter or exclude certain size materials from getting up and jamming the rotor. You'll notice on the left and the right, the framework for the wheel arms is welded solidly to the tube of the frame. And this is so that we can have a rigid point from which to mount our wheel arms. Our soil conditioner is different than some other models on the market in that our wheel arms are rigidly mounted to the frame. And that becomes very important and more obvious once we do some real world work with it here that we'll do a little bit later. But the point is that we have a strong base for which to mount our arms, but it is also adjustable. So you can adjust this arm up and down to match or to suit the needs of your skid steer loader better. The wheel arm itself is 2.5 by 3.5 inch rectangular tubing, 1/4 inch wall, so it's really strong. Below the wheel arm, you'll notice that we have a one-sided caster, and that's so that we can use a trailer style hub. A trailer style hub gives you easier and better access to the wheel to maintain it. It also makes a more open structure that doesn't hold material, so it sheds things like rocks and mud better. Below the wheel arm, you'll notice that we have a very heavy caster frame. The caster is made from 3/4 inch grade 50 steel. So another really important feature of our soil conditioner that is better than a lot of other units on the market is that we use a very large 10-inch diameter rotor. The rotor is made from 1/4 inch wall material, so it's very thick with welded teeth. And the reason it's important to have a very large rotor is because you can carry more dirt in front of the rotor. So the pile that accumulates in front of the rotor is used to level and to fill the landscape, the area that you're digging on. And if you can carry more material, you can get the job done quicker.
Okay, so I wanted to point out a huge advantage to using such a large diameter drum. We have a 10-inch drum, which is one of the largest in the industry. And when we're cutting shoulder like this, it gives a good representation of the amount of spoil that you can move to one side. So we're trying to crown this road here, and you can see the huge pile of material that we're able to actually cut and move to the side. You can't do that as well with a smaller diameter drum.
Our rotor also has the carbide tip teeth welded in a spiral pattern. That's really important because rotors that have teeth welded in straight lines are more prone to stalling. Okay, so on the motor end, I just want to go over a few features here. The first of which is this really heavy built motor cover. Because we have most of our motor buried inside the rotor, we only have a few inches sticking out beyond the frame here, but we wanted to cover that to protect it from debris such as rocks and dirt. You'll also notice that we have 3/8 inch plate steel for wings here, and they're mounted with simple pins. So it's really easy to move these pins from the front to the back, and you don't have to have tools. From this angle, it gives you a really good view of the pin positions for the wheel arms. So in the operating position, we have 3 different pin locations for different heights of the wheel arm. But also we have additional holes here for transportation. There are times when you want the wheels either retracted or flipped up to save you more room on the trailer. You can simply pull this pin, either pull the arm backwards or flip it up and insert it into one of these two pinholes here. Okay, on the back side here, I wanted to point out some of the key features of the multi-flex system. This system is unique in the industry, and it gives you some big advantages when you're out in the real world. First of all, you can control the depth of cut of the rotor simply by rolling your mounting plate forward or aft. And this is accomplished by the geometry of these arms here. This is what's considered a 4-bar linkage. So by rolling your mounting plate forward, you're actually raising the rear of the frame and raising the rotor out of the ground and placing that weight onto the wheels on the front. So it's a really quick and easy way to control the depth of cut from the cab, and it really makes you a lot more productive. Also, this 4-bar linkage is designed in such a way that it helps cancel out large bumps that you might drive through with your skid steer loader. And the way it does that is it actually counteracts the motion of the skid steer. So if your front end dips down, it actually raises the rear end of the frame up, and it counteracts that dip, and it helps you make a more flat and level surface quicker and easier. So another major feature of the multi-flex system is the fact that we use ball joints on our top control arms here. And what that allows you to do is oscillate the frame independent from your skid steer loader. That becomes really important when you want to cut a swale or cut the corner of a driveway or something that's off camber from your skid steer loader. You can adjust your wheel arms differently, left to right, to cut a swale, and they will follow that program regardless of what your skid steer is doing. So they can be oscillating out of time with each other. So on the right side of the frame, I just wanted to show you that we have an oversized bearing on this side that's greasable, it's easy to access, heavy duty. And on the inside of the frame here, which you can't see very well, we have welded a ring to the inside of this frame plate. And what that does is it acts like a shield between the frame plate and the end of the rotor. And that helps prevent material from wrapping on the shaft, which can cause damage to your bearing seals.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you a quick demonstration here of a single pass in a grassy area. This is lighter soil, it's somewhat sandy, but it's solid seeded with brome grass and blue stem. And I had it burned off so there's no trash, but the grass is definitely alive. There's definitely roots in here. So we took one pass here. I didn't dig as hard or as slow as I could have. Made pretty good pass, pretty good rate of pass here, but I just wanted to show you that we dug down here maybe 3 inches, and it destroyed all the roots. Everything's chopped up pretty good. So you can see here what we can do with just one pass. You really get a good dig.
I hope you've enjoyed this video on our quick Power Scape. Check back often as we make more videos just like this. As always, give us a call or check out our website if you have any questions.